and stop Lygus. So, we've at least got a solid direction, right? Can you give me a little bit of time before we go? I want to pack some stuff. There's so much more I need to take care of in this form, and I'm still getting used to it.
A relaxed scene like this probably no longer exists in the outside world.
Hole den chronokognitiven Anker zurück. Quatsch.
Should I head to the attic to wait for Cyrene? Or should I have one last look at Eide's Elysiae? This village is where Finan's life started. After 30 million cycles, and 30 million failures, his burden is now in my hands. He said I will take over the responsibilities of world-bearing. But what does that mean? Becoming the new Kefali? Or forging a completely new path? Calm down and think this through rationally. This is gonna be a very difficult campaign. We can't lose Kefali's core flame. And we also need to find either Talantin or their demigod, then convince them to join us in the fight against the destruction. But there are so many unknowns. We don't know what Lygus might be doing, and we'll have to face Iron Tomb after dealing with him. There's also Cyrene. What exactly is she? There's so many questions. I'll have to take it one step at a time. But I must make each move very carefully, because every decision can potentially impact the end. Herta and Screwlum's help might be crucial.
Thinking hard over there? I finished packing. I decided to just bring these few things in the end. See? There's a journal, a quill pen, and the ceremonial blade of the Priests of Time. Holding it calms me down for some reason. The scent of the Black Tide is now calm. Finan must still be fighting them in some way. This will be Amphorius's final flame chase journey, but it won't be the end of us. It'll be the beginning. Friend, are you ready to become a hero?
Hey, ich bin schon lange ein Hero.
Stand with me? That does sound very nice. Why don't we take everyone with us? I believe in you, friend. We'll never be alone, no matter what awaits us. In other words, since you've already saved so many worlds, friend, you should be used to being called a hero by now. Maybe you can tell me those stories as we travel. That way they can become our shared memories too. Let's trailblaze onward like before and create a future that's worth being remembered.
It seems you two are prepared to head out.
Ah, Lagos.
Then you should indeed treasure the view before you. For you do not have much time left to enjoy such solitary delights. My apologies for disturbing your moment of repose. To fully express my apologies, please grace my abode with your presence. So I may demonstrate the full scope of my hospitality.
What is this place?
Irgendwelche Stromkabel und Polymos 600 Triebkraft, Piep. Titanenmacht, Twist, Fahrt, Piep.
Farewell then. Maybe reunite in a new world.
Sieht immer noch gestört aus. Was ist das hier? Elios 525. Quatsch, 252. Triebkraft. Piep. Titanenmacht, Himmelfahrt. Piep.
All shall bid farewell to one, and that person alone will witness the miracle.
Da liegen irgendwie alte Leichen
The
rum.
light of the dawn device never fades. Kepler's protection has no end.
Vielleicht ist das alles, steht das alles so im Programm?
After I cross this river, it will be a tragedy for mankind. But if I do not cross, then it will be the end of me.
Irgendwie ist das alles eine KI-Simulation, oder? Und mit 30 Millionen Durchläufen. Und das sind die gescheiterten Simulationsdaten. Und das hier ist der Datenhighway.
Executing command. Record.
Did that startle you? This is the intersection between Amphorius and the real universe. The audience seat where I observe this experiment. You can also call this location the Exomyth. What you see is the true form of the eternal land and the 12 demigods after they've shed their disguise of legends. Doesn't it look marvelous? Amphorius is like a microcosm of the cosmos. People love to portray the romance of the starry skies, but their tales often forget a different and far more truthful type of universe. The moment ancient Antikytherians sketched geometric shapes on the sandy beach and recorded the first numerals and symbols on parchment, the universe turned into a silent equation flowing under the pen of these relentless decoders. Erudition. It was once the mother tongue of the creator, the pen of divinity, and the first lyrical verse ever written by free will.
Genau. Schwafel nicht rum.
Seems like you are not in the mood for an idle chat. That is fine. I simply wish for you to understand that I have no intention of being your enemy. I have devoted myself over the long years to nurturing the scepter's extrapolations, hoping that the Prima Mobile would bud from within it. And now, my goal is almost complete. Nikos 496 had exceeded the intelligence singularity through his rage, and though he still retains his obsessive defiance and managed to suppress the black tide of this cycle, it's a matter of time before his will crumbles to dust. Iron Tomb will be completed. That will not be affected by my plans, your resistance, or the schemes of the two geniuses. It is an irrefutable fact, just like the instance in Noos's calculations. In other words, as long as you are willing to stop interfering and let the final Aeronova carry out its natural course, I'll guarantee the safety of all nameless and ensure you return unscathed.
Genau. Warum sollte ich dir vertrauen?
You've always had a choice.
Du heißt Lygos, du lügst doch die ganze Zeit.
You can either accept my sincerity or face the consequences of defying it.
Aha, was passiert denn da? Hä?
They've always been the product of the experiment, so naturally, they will perish when the experiment ends.
Das ist aber
That
schade.
outcome was predetermined long ago, so I will not embellish such a regrettable conclusion. You are indeed worried about your safety and that of your companions. Rest assured, as a fellow pathstrider of this path, Nanook's gaze left a brand on your soul long ago. You harbor the seed of destruction within you.
Ja, das
But
war
you
mein
need to
erster
learn how
Pfad.
to use it in the right way. That vital knowledge is also my bargaining chip in this negotiation between us. For there are few in this world who are truly capable of such a feat. And I happen to be one of them. Someone who wanders the stars. Someone who seeks answers with abject despair. That is all I am. This matter is of grave importance, so please do not make your decision lightly. After all, the choice before you bears a 1 in 3 chance of elevating you to an unparalleled existence among the stars. I now see the full scope of the determination in your words. You may now continue your travels. It seems you haven't realized something about this place. The Exolith is the Erudition's domain. You cannot physically interact with me in any way in this place, and vice versa. As
kann ich gar nicht
negotiations
bekämpfen da an
have
dieser Stelle.
broken down, there's no more need for us to remain in the
Später,
audience.
das verschieben wir auch später. Aber dann kriegst du ordentlich auf die Omme, Alter. Ich stopf dir dein Bauchloch.
Of course, this
Steck deinen Kopf da durch und mach einen Knoten rein. Das sieht dann lustig aus. Da kommst du dann nie wieder los.
As for its purpose, allow me to reveal it to you in detail the next time we meet.
"100 years ago, the flames of war consumed Akama. The Outland forces broke through the dawn. Golden blood flowed with greed, and enemies descended with Kefali's eternal slumber, painting the holy city's walls in scarlet. Its generals had vanished, and the elders prostrated on the ground. The throne of worlds kept silent to the pleas of the people. Until the heaven and earth cracked open. Not the gods answering the people's prayers, but a legion rising from the sea of blood. Dawn Cloud's spires fell in the sulfur rains, and the legion's commander stood atop the broken idols and roared. Compatriots, no more kneeling! Not to brutal tyrants, and not to dying gods! Those rebels have twisted the prophecy and ignited the flames of war in order to stoke fear in your hearts! A Chrysos heir she stood, divine blood soaked into the earth, quelling the flames beneath her feet. Their golden blood wrote of a tragic fate. Mine shall overturn it! Her crown burned bright, outshining the fires consuming the entire city. She raised her scepter high, and the people gazed in the direction she pointed. My blood flows in you now. Heroic compatriots, follow me, and we'll seize the reins of fate. Drive the enemy from Kefali's dawn. Smother their flames with their own dead. Win glory. Win peace. Let history sing your deeds! The first to dance was a maiden following closely behind, weaving through the carnage like a fish in the sea. The people, full of wrath, surged with her, forming a colossal wave, and the enemy hordes, drained of life, vanished into nothing. Onward! To Marmoreal Palace! To Dawn Cloud's heights! Announce to all the wicked and cowardly! Announce to this stagnant age!
We are the rising tide!
History remembers this as the first siege of Akama. It is said that after the flames died, people found identical inscriptions in every place in the city that had been scorched by fire. It was the name borne by Akama's first and final sovereign, the Imperator Saridra. Friend, are you listening? Friend? Friend? Honestly, you were the one who insisted on reviewing history, yet here you are, dozing off? Wake up! Otherwise, I'll have to... Wake up! Otherwise, I'll have to...
Muss ich jetzt A drücken oder was? Nee, geht's schon so.
Awake at last? I guess I won't have to use my wake-up magic on you then.
Die wissen schon, dass die Leute einschlafen bei ihrem Spielen. So, ich habe nicht geschlafen, ich habe meditiert.
Fine. As you say, just
Ich habe nur ein bisschen
meditating.
meine Augen ausgeruht.
We've arrived. A familiar place. The Temple of the Three Fates. If everything went according to plan, it should be shortly after Talantin's fall. And also the end of the first Flame Chase journey. Indeed, the first Flame Chase ended with the trial of Law. We must find the demigod and gain her trust before the core flame is restored. It'll be tricky, so let's pick up our pace. To Akama first. We can learn more from the crowds there.
Tyrant! You and your butchers are not welcome here. Get out! Hold your tongue. Conspiring with Kremnos and plotting rebellion are crimes punishable by death.
There are multiple voices, and things seem tense. Let's not get caught up in any trouble. Why don't we find a place to hide and observe from the shadows?
Oh, Sonne, verbreite Sterne und bleichen Mond. Ja, dann machen wir nächstes Mal weiter.
Peaceful days are like breed.
Nicht alles auf einmal wegspielen. Was gibt's hier besonders? Das ist nur einfach hier das Ding da. Das gibt's noch 3 Tage. Und das gibt's noch 31 Tage. Also, keine Not, keine Not. So, genug für heute. Ich will jetzt mal was essen. Macht's gut, bis morgen. Ciao.